there was two kind of Lucio Fulcis. There was like the guy who did the gore films, and then the guy who did more classy movies. And the people who like the gore films don't give a damn about the classy films, and the people who like the classy films probably don't like the gore films. All right, I like them both, but as far as like an entertaining movie from beginning to end, City of the Walking Dead is the Gates of Hell. What I always think of it as Gates of Hell. That's what it was released in America as. Well, I love the Hitchcockian bit of the girl buried alive in the coffin, and Christopher George trying to dig her out, and the pickaxe, going through the coffin. But to me, the psychic, a.k.a. 7 Notes to the Tune of Black.
Sette notti in nero.
Yeah, no, I just even like saying that title. Sette notti in nero. It's one of my favorite giallos. It's one of my favorite Italian horror films of the 70s. It's actually one of my favorite thrillers. It's one of my favorite thrillers of the 70s. I kind of love everything about that movie. There's
and you brilliantly use that music in Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Like, most people don't know that dun 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 dun.
No, the soundtrack is terrific. Jennifer O'Neill gives one of her best performances, and I'm a big Jennifer O'Neill fan. She's fantastic in it. The costumes in the film are fantastic. The storytelling is really great. It has a real handsome look. I mean, if you just watch The New York Ripper and think that that's what Lucio Fulci is, and you watch The Psychic, you cannot believe the same guy directed both movies. You totally misrepresent me on your show a lot.
Why? What would I say?
Well, it's cute, all right? But it's like, you'll say that I raved about some movie that you took a chance on, all right? And, you said, oh, Quentin, it's the hyperbole of your half-remembered what somebody told you I said is the thing. So, okay, I had recommended the Jennifer O'Neill giallo, The Psychic.
Yes, and I watched it, yes.
Or Sette Notti in Nero, Seven Notes in Tune of Black. You're like, oh, Quentin Tarantino said, this is one of the greatest giallos of all time. Okay.
Yes.
I never said that, all right? Nor would I necessarily push this as the end-all of giallos.
True.
Because it's, I actually think it's just a really good thriller.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good thriller. And I can actually defend that movie. I think it's a really classy thriller. I think she's really terrific in it. I think her costumes are magnificent. All right. The whole movie looks wonderful. I don't think it gets that absurd, but there is also something else. And this is a big, this is a thing. This is a thing. I actually think they do a good job with the English language dub. But I've also seen the movie in Italian with subtitles, and it's really, really classy.
Yeah. The dubbing will sometimes do that.
It's really, and I actually think that's a good version of a dubbing job, because I kind of want to hear Jennifer O'Neill's voice. She's quite good in it. But the end is really good. You saw it to the end, didn't you?
I saw it to the end.
Yeah, when they brick her up, that's really well done, and that's really suspenseful. And,
and
the way that it all works out with the 7 Notes and the Tune of Black, that was clever.
I guess so.
Actually, it's not preposterous enough. It's not crazy enough. It's not enough of a murder mystery.
Right.
It's not gory enough.
Not gory.
It's just a classy thriller. I actually think it plays very much like a more modern, like you can imagine Faye Dunaway in an American version of that, but it's jumping off from like a 40s woman's thriller. I really like Zombie. Zombie, I think, works more from its mythology kind of standpoint. Like, you can imagine other zombie movies, and that's why I like the idea of a zombie comic book. Was a really neat idea. As good as I like Zombie 2, I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Dawn of the Dead. I mean, I think Dawn of the Dead is a real masterpiece. You know? Zombie 2, half of it is a really bad movie. All right, but take away the horrible Ian Richardson and his horrible balding, I don't know what the hell kind of comb over thing he has in that. I mean, the only one is that it was really any good in is John Richardson. He's in a completely other movie. He's in a much classier movie. Having said that, though, the level of gore was in a different area than the flowing blood and the flowing limbs of Dawn of the Dead. And there was no comedy wrapped up in there of like, the rolling head and then it lands on a bag that says shop at Kmart. All right, I mean, that was Romero's level. But just, the whole Caribbean, West Indies aspect of it all really creates its own mythology, all right? It gives it its own sense
What
of
has the old
mythology.
school zombie? The
Yeah.
guy, the person trying to create a race of slaves.
Yes, and then the fact that they truly are the decomposed bodies of dead black villagers. And then the true mayhem when they get their hands on you that they exude. And it's one of those movies that, while, you have to suffer through a lot in the first 20 minutes, and it doesn't really get that much better for the next 20 minutes. But by that point in time, the story they're telling isn't so bad. And so you do get caught up in it. Once you're finally on the island, once John Richardson enters it, you actually are caught up in the story. And then it has a whiz-bang ending. The last 20 minutes is terrific.
And a zombie fights a shark.
And then, the zombie fights the shark is just one of the greatest moments in cinema history. All right, as far as I'm concerned, it's just one of the most, cinema entre gens. Just like so outrageous, you can't believe what you're seeing. Am I really seeing this? Is this really happening? And then it has one of the great money shots of all time, with the eye into the splinter. Yeah, literally, truly, done like an opera aria. Literally set up like it's the show-stopping curtain number of an opera. Then, okay, cut to after his death, then you go to every Fangoria convention for the next 20 years, and kids are walking around with Fulci Lives t-shirts. Well, it would be a nice Fulci touch for him to be able to see for him to live long enough to see a Fulci Lives t-shirt.